Now, the next part. As I told you, English. So we all know about English or any other like native language we have been like feeded with. So let me tell you, your the Python is going to be your next English language. And why is it so? It's because of the ease. Again, I'm stressing more on the ease part because of the same reason. So if you want to simply print hello world in your system, the number of line of codes that you need to write in Java is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's skip this part. So 1, 2, 3, and that too it looks very complicated. But again, I'm not discriminating against Java or anything because yeah, Java has its own use. It has its own fundamentals and all. I'm just saying, just like trying to say that if you want to write the same code in Python, you can simply write print hello world, and then your your like message gets printed out in a very simple and effective manner. So this is how easy it is to code in Python. Just one line of code and you're done with it. Let me give you a few more examples. So again, like talking about simplicity, if we want to just add two numbers, now this is in C++. If you want to add two numbers in C++, you need to call your IOStream library, then you need to create a function, define some variables, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot going in. But if you want to just add two numbers in Python, what you can simply do is, and you'll not even like, you'll be shocked to see it's just one line of code. It's print any two numbers that you want. So that's how easy it is in Python to do things. Now, okay. So before we move on to show some more tricks to you, uh, let me just talk a little bit about how can we play with data. So playing with data is like you have a lot of data available on the internet or on the tables or the databases and different areas. I'm not saying like just the web or the tables. Very sorry. There are different uh, sections where you can pull the data from. Yeah, just give me a second. But those data comes with a lot of errors, and then there are a few technical problems. I mean, there can be a lot of characters, special characters, and whatnot. If you want to simply get the cleanest, then you can do a lot of manipulation in Python and you can scale the data. Now let's move on to this example. So the problem statement here is that you are given a stream of text. You are given this text that we at Analytics Sapient are offering blah blah blah, and please contact us at this, or you can drop a mail to this. All right. Now your task is to only fetch out the email ID from this text. So how do you go about to do it? Now in Python, you can do all of these things and you can simply scrape. I mean, when I say scrape, it means you're fetching something out. So in this case, what you want the output to be is you want info@analyticssapient.com and anurag@analyticssapient.com to come out as your output from this stream of text. Now let me show you how it works and then we can walk through the code and it will be very simple for you to understand. So yeah, let's do one thing. Let's remove this. Let me clear all the output. Yeah. Now if I run this block of code, you'll see. I'll go here, I'll simply run. It's the same text which we saw over there. We at Analytics Statement are offering blah blah blah, and we want to fetch this email ID and this email ID. Now if I just go here and press run, it will give me two email IDs. Not just these two email IDs, but if you want to fetch more email IDs, You can simply go and type more email IDs. I have two more email IDs here. So okay, for you, I'll write few more email IDs. Let's say something period hotmail.com. Okay. Few more Python at the rate yahoo.in. If again I go here and press run, all these different email IDs which I typed here will also be fetched out. Yeah. So you can see different email IDs that I can fetch using a simple line of code. Now what this is doing is it's also giving me the comma because it's a character in itself. Okay. Now, but what made this task to be so easy in Python? So while I was talking about, I'll take you to that slide. So I was telling you about libraries and frameworks. Now, how do they help us? Now here I'm using something called as regular expression. What does regular expression do? It simply takes your text and then it finds a pattern in your for you or different email IDs or different text that you want. Now there's already a library in Python which is called as RE, which stands for regular expression. Now, if regular expression was not there, this task would have been very tedious and very difficult for me also to fetch all the different email IDs. Then I would have to I would have to define my patterns and everything, and then I need to pull out the Gmail ID or the different email IDs. But here, given that I have the regular expression library with me, I import my library. So every time if you want to use any library or any functionality of Python, you simply import that. Then this is my text. I define my text and I want to fetch out the different email IDs. So what I am essentially doing here is I am creating a variable emails where using regular expression RE, I am I am saying find all, and then this is the this is actually the pattern that I'm looking for. So let me tell you what this is. This is again very simple. So any email ID has some pattern. For example, abc@gmail.com. So the pattern goes here is it's a alphanumeric character. It can be ABC123. It can be anything like ABC546 and so on. So we are trying to find a pattern before at the rate, which is going to be alphanumeric, and then after at the rate also we need to have some alphanumeric character. And if you're getting similar kind of pattern, then what you're asking here from Python to do is fetch me all the different kinds of pattern like this. Now, here if you see the slash s plus is nothing but your alphanumeric character. You're trying to fetch that. And then what you're looking for is you want an at the rate symbol in between and then again some alphanumeric character. And from what? You want to fetch it from your text. Now email will this simple command will fetch you all the different email IDs from this text. And once you print those emails, you'll see all your emails will get printed out. You can keep on adding different email IDs and you can fetch all the different email IDs here. So that's how easy it is to code in Python. And this is not a basic thing which I taught you. This is more like an advanced thing in Python, which we do on a very regular basis. But I'm just giving you that the most difficult things or most advanced things which is very difficult in other programming languages can be very easy in Python to do. Hmm. So get done with this one trick. Let me talk a little more about the Jupyter environment that we were in, and then I'm going to show you one more magic. How can we? So before we jump on there, so this environment here where I'm working is called Jupyter Notebook. Now it's a very interactive environment. You can write your code by, you can add multiple blocks. If you want to add blocks here, you can go, you can add blocks, codes. For example, if I want to simply import different libraries, for example, it's a pandas. So I'll go here and I'll import pandas. So this is one of the things that we can do. Then I can do a lot of different manipulation. If I want to read some data from a table, I can do that. So in fact, let me just show you that. So let's say pg dot. Let me see if I have any table here. Yeah, first slot seconds. So I'll simply read this. I hope the name is right here. Yeah. So if you want to see this table, I can show you this table. How does it look like? So yeah, it's a simple table where you are probably in this. This is some e-commerce page that we have the data from, where we are given what is the link of the page, what product it is, then the price of that product, what is the title of the product, the description, material, size, and image. It comes in a table format. So if you want to read this table, you can simply use a library called as pandas in Python. And then again, if you see, it's very simple. I imported pandas and I imported it with an alias name, which is PD. If I don't import it with PD, that is also okay. But since I have imported this library with an alias, which is PD, so I'm using PD. If you look at this format here and this format here, these are very similar. So you imported RE, you imported pandas, and then you are using a regular expression and pandas, then some dot functionality, and done with CSV. So you define your path, and your CSV will get stored in a DF. What is a DF? It's a data frame. Data frame is nothing but a table, and then you print out the table, and then you can see all the different things that we saw on this Excel sheet. The same data gets loaded here, and then you can do a lot of different manipulation here. A lot of things can be done if you want to group your data, anything. Okay, so that's just it. I'll